Oh my gosh, guys. Woo! We are back, and you literally just came out of my stomach. Pretty disgusting if I do say so myself. But anyway, we are good. My hair is looking a little bit crazy, but welcome back to another video. It's Brando Olenek here, and it's been a while since I've shot a video. It's been maybe a couple months on this channel, depending if I'm uploading this on my main or not my main channel. And all I know is it's been a while since I've actually had a face-to-face conversation with you guys. So I figured, what the heck, why not? Let's dive into it. I'm going to share with you guys literally 70 rules or 70 things you must know and you must be aware of so you do not become a failure in entrepreneurship, in business, and in life. If you don't know these 70 things that I'm going to list off, you will be that person that lives in their mom's basement wearing t-shirts with this funnel hacker on it, never being able to move out and never being a success online. I'm just kidding. But anyway, guys, you will be living in your parents' basement for the rest of your life, working a job for the rest of your life. So you're probably wondering, well, Brando, what the heck are we going to be listing off 70 things? That sounds a little bit ridiculous. Well, I absolutely clickbaited you to watch this video. We're actually going to name off 7 things, 6 or 7 things that will make or break you when it comes to becoming a successful entrepreneur. And this is really going to determine whether you're an absolute failure and you're going to be working a job for the rest of your life at a, pumping gas, or working at Arby's or Wendy's, sweating your ass off, always talking about your dreams and goals and never really getting there, or you're going to be somebody who is preaching something and accomplishing the exact same that you're preaching. So what's the first thing that you need to know that's going to determine if you're an absolute failure when it comes to business and life? That first thing is, if you want to write this down, you do not take action. And I personally, I hate these kinds of people. I'm just going to be completely upfront with you guys, no bullshit. I hate people that talk and preach that they're going to do something. And this happens with so many up-and-coming entrepreneurs, whether it's millennials or older people. There's a lot of people, I think, in today's day and age who like to do a lot more talking than they like to actually do action. They're talking about how they're going to be rich. They're going to start this business. They're going to have 3 different businesses in the next 5 years. And they're going to be, driving Ferraris and Lambos and having Rolexes, living on the beaches of the world. Yet 3 years pass by, 2 months pass by, and they haven't started out any businesses. They're still in the same damn spot that they were when they were talking about it. These are the same people that create the same New Year's resolutions, or they kind of switch it up every year, but they never work towards it. They feel good when they say something, right? They're like, oh, I'm going to be rich. I'm going to be a singer. I'm going to start a YouTube channel. I'm going to learn how to do email marketing, YouTube videos. I'm going to be a YouTuber. I'm going to be the next Jake Paul. I'm going to be the next Logan Paul, whatever, PewDiePie. And they never get started. A year passes by and you talk to Fred and they're still not even, getting going. Or they shot a video, or they started for like a week and then they gave up and quit. These are people who are absolute failures in life. They're not going to go anywhere in business at all. All right, you did not, I can't speak English. You do not want to be that person. All right, so that's number 1. Number two is you worry too much, okay? Not all of you guys fit this category, but some of you guys do fit this category where you're worrying way too much about starting out as an entrepreneur on the internet. You're worrying about, how to make everything perfect. Everything has to be perfect. You have to master how to send out emails, create capture pages, what to say in your YouTube videos. You're worrying way too much about the process, how you're going to generate leads, how you're going to build out your list. How are you going to attract people to you? You're worrying way too much about the process, the setup. You're worrying if you have to pick up the phone or how to make a sales video, and you're not taking action. If you're always in worry mode, and then after you're in worry mode, you may start worrying about what your friends and family think and your relatives think about how you're starting out a business and you're doing this different route. Well, you need to stop giving a shit about the critics. You need to stop giving a shit about what other people think. You need to stop worrying about, the process, the setup, the ebb and the flow. If you're always worrying about the critics, what people think, say, or do, or what their opinions are of you, all right, you're not going to be a successful entrepreneur, because that comes with the territory. People are not going to agree with what you're doing. You're taking a different road where there's a lot of risk, there's a lot of different things involved, okay? So you can't worry about that shit, all right? Don't let it get to you. If you do, you're not ever going to be successful as an entrepreneur, and that is the second rule, all right? Third rule is, and I'm reading it off the paper to make sure I'm actually hitting these on the head here, You're blaming others for the lack of your success, or blaming things that you do not have for the lack of your success. I see this time and time again. I've gotten so many emails from so many people, saying, well, Brando, how much is your training course? Or Brando, how much does it cost to start a business online? What's the cost associated with starting a website, hosting, all this stuff? And they're not only worrying too much about the cost associated with business, all right, but they're also starting to blame others on their success and the lack that they have with their success. Oh, I don't have a computer, I don't have a laptop, I only have a tablet and cell phone, so I really want to be successful online, but I don't have those things, so I can't. And I'm not ever going to be able to afford it. I don't have a job, or I'm working a job, but I have all these bills. And they're blaming their circumstances on the lack of their success, when they should be looking at that as a motivation to get themselves out of there. And that's what successful people do. That's the difference between thinking successful and thinking like an employee and somebody who's going to be a loser their whole life. Pretty much, always letting their excuses get the most of them and the best of them. All right, don't let your excuses get the most of you. Don't let you worrying too much about things being perfect, or what other people's opinions are, that you don't have enough money or enough time, that you're working too much, or you have 5 different jobs, that you're not going to be able to do this. Because successful people look at that and they say, hey, this is why I'm going to be successful. After my 100-hour work week, I'm going to put in, instead of sleeping in or sleeping 8 hours a day, I'm going to put in, an extra 2 hours every single night and work my business. I'm going to work my business. I'm going to get more hours at work so I can save up for a laptop. Or I'm going to go get a job so I can start bringing in money so I can invest in that business, that course, that training. You're looking at it not as an excuse and limitation, not blaming it for the lack of your success. You're looking at it as a motivation for your success, to do more and be more. But most people, with number 3, they're blaming others, they're blaming their circumstances, and if you're doing that, you will never be successful in life and or business. You're going to be a loser. You pretty much should be a panhandler on the street, asking for money, begging for change like the midgets I've seen just in my city here. 4th thing is you're afraid of taking risks, being afraid of taking risks, being afraid of making that phone call. So not just like investing money, I'm talking about investing your time, or maybe doing a certain action, right? Like you're giving a call to somebody, a subscriber that entered their name and email on your capture page, or maybe you're spending $10 a day or $5 a day on Facebook advertising. You're scared of taking that risk. It's like, oh, I don't want to spend $5 a day, but I want to live in the mansions. I want to make money online, but I don't want to do that. I just can't do that. I can't open up a line of credit to do that. I can't work more hours at my job to do that. I'm too scared of that risk. I'm too scared of losing that money or losing my time doing that. Or I'm too scared of getting rejected on the phone or sending that email and then them not responding back to my email. You cannot be scared of that. All right, you cannot be afraid of the risk associated with being an entrepreneur by getting rejected, by placing Facebook ads or any kind of ad. It could be YouTube, and then all of a sudden you're getting, no results from it. Okay, it's like learning how to walk as a child. You're gonna get up and you're gonna stumble and fall down until you stumble and fall down 5,000 times or 5 million times if you're a challenged baby, and then finally you can balance yourself out and you can walk on your own 2 feet, just like riding a bike. All right, it's not perfect. You're not just out of the womb and you're dressed. Well, maybe some of you guys like me, I was out of the womb and I was making money online already. I was already doing my thing, riding bikes and doing tricks at the circus. At the daycare, but I don't know what I'm talking about there. But anyway, guys, just know that there's a learning process and you cannot be afraid of making that call, of taking those actions necessary to get to where you want to be. And that's kind of the process that's going to make or break you as an entrepreneur, where your want factor has to be more than your excuse factor. All right, you can't be afraid of doing that. And with risk, I just want to preference this because some of you guys are gonna be like, well, Brando, I don't have a lot of money, I don't have a lot of time. I can't take the risk. You don't understand my story. Well, I'm not talking about taking your whole bank account and then not paying rent and placing it all into a business opportunity, placing it all on black or on red like you would at the casino. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking a bit about taking small initial risks, like making a phone call, sending out an email, reaching out to people, doing a YouTube video. All right, so many people I've heard want to make YouTube channels and make YouTube careers to make money off the ads. And a lot of people who I've talked to that want to do that, I'm following up with them 2-3 months later and they haven't taken a shot at it yet. They haven't even shot their first YouTube video, or some of them have, and then they stopped and they quit. They're not being consistent with it because they're scared, or they're not getting views on their videos so they think it's not working. No, it's not working because there's not consistency there. All right, so they're too scared of that risk of that time that they'd have to dedicate to do that. Does that make sense? Okay, so afraid of taking risk. Don't be afraid of taking risk. Fifth thing, I was going to go four. Fifth thing is you're okay with just putting in the bare minimum, just getting by. You can't do that. You got to be okay with being the best. You got to be willing to be the best. All right, you got to want to be the best you can be by giving it your all, by being obsessed with the process. If you're okay with being an underdog, if you're okay with making an extra $500 a month, $1,000 a month, then my friend, quit being an entrepreneur, quit faking it, okay? If you want to be an entrepreneur, you got to want to be the best because it is so competitive out there. If you're not trying to be the best on the field and the ice rink, you're going to get eaten up by the sharks, okay? You're going to get eaten up and blown by the competition, and if you're not wanting or trying to be the best in your field, in your niche, in business, with online business in general, all right, when times get tough, because they will get tough, you will get challenged mentally and you will give up and you will quit. And you'll go back to Arby's, you'll go back to the car wash where you're working, and you'll work there for the rest of your life. Sounds super harsh, but I'm just telling you the way it is. This is the reason why, a lot of people want things in life, but not everyone gets things in life that they want. All right, make sense? Okay, so do not be okay with being an underdog. Do not be okay with just getting by. Do not set small, unrealistic goals. Set realistic goals and stretch yourself, grow yourself as a human being. Start small and go big, all right? But you have to take action towards that. If you're always dreaming and dreaming and dreaming, but you're sitting on the couch eating potato chips and drinking beer and hanging out with friends on the weekend and never taking action towards that, my friend, you're going to be a failure. Just telling you like it is, okay? So that's the fifth thing. Sixth thing is you haven't yet gotten started. I've seen so many people who have not yet gotten started in business. They have all these ideas, or they're trying to make things perfect again, trying to have the perfect business plan. It's not perfect. Business is not perfect. It's going to always go up and down, and you can never have the perfect plan. If it was perfect, everyone would get started in business. Everyone would be making 6 and 7 figures in business. It doesn't work out that way. It's impossible to have the perfect plan, the perfect setup. It's impossible, okay? But I've seen so many people, they have yet to get started. They have this business they want to start, that business they want to start, and then when they find a business they want to start, they have to make it perfect to get started. And with me, I've had a lot of businesses I've started since 2014 online that have made me a lot of money, that initially got me making a full-time income online, and then I've had businesses that I've gotten involved with, and they've absolutely flopped and not made me any money, and I've lost thousands of dollars. All right, that is just the result of me getting started, and I would not be where I am today, not having a boss for the last 3 years, being able to make more than a full-time income, take vacations, have free time, pardon me, do what I want to do when I want to do it. I would not be able to have this lifestyle had I not gotten started and been consistent and determined since 2014. All right, so you have to get started. You have to get started, and you have to be willing to not have a perfect process. You have to just be willing to know that it's not going to be perfect. You're going to fail, and that just goes with the territory. All right, so that is the sixth thing. The seventh thing is people jump around from things when times get tough. And when I say times get tough, there's going to be times in your business where there's going to be testing periods where it's going to slow down. You're not going to make as many sales. You're not going to make any sales. You're not going to have anyone on your list. Your marketing isn't going to be working. It's not going to be, gaining traction, especially in the beginning when you're a newbie. You have to build that momentum, which means you're going to have maybe 6 to 12 months where you have to sacrifice and grind it out, where you have to be okay with making absolutely no money. And most people out there, and it's unbelievable, this is why a lot of people fail, and they become an absolute failure with online business. Most people in this testing period of newbiness, all right, when they're born out of the womb of entrepreneurship and online business, then they're figuring this stuff out, watching so many YouTube tutorial videos, and they're buying ebooks and training courses. When they're going through all this stuff, and then they finally start taking action, what ends up happening is they don't take action long enough, all right, to see the results that they want. They don't go through the grind for 6 months to 12 months. What they end up doing is they're like, okay, I'm going to learn this YouTube video marketing. I'm going to learn to build my email list. I'm going to learn to start this business online, sell these shirts online, get these customers online, pick up the phone and call these people. And they only do it for a month or maybe 2 months. And then after that, they're like, oh, I'm not making 6 figures. I'm not a millionaire yet. So let's go find a different business. I'm going to go look at cryptocurrency and Bitcoin and selling gold and the stock stock market. I'm going to go look at all these get-rich-quick shortcut opportunities. And my friend, it does not work like that. You have to be willing to grind it out and make no money for your first 6 months. You got to, at least for your first 6 months, be willing to make absolutely no money, see no return on investment, whether that's time or monetary gain. All right, you got to be okay with that process. 6 months isn't a long time until you make 6 or 7 figures. All right, it's not that long. I'm not guaranteeing you guys those results, just sharing with you what's possible. Okay, it took me 6 months to go full time. Less than that. It took me about 3 months to quit my job and go full time on the internet. Okay, but I had to be consistent with it. And a lot of people, through that period of time, what they'll do is, oh, my business isn't working, so I'm going to go and I'm going to jump in this other business. I'm going to start promoting this other affiliate product. I'm going to start buying these other training courses. And they'll go through this rat hole of buying courses, jumping from business opportunity to business opportunity, always looking for the next best thing. And that, my friend, is where you're going to be a lifelong failure, and you're always going to be wondering why you're not making money and you've always spent more money on different things. So that said, guys, that's it. Those are the 7 things that are going to determine whether you are an absolute failure. An absolute failure. You know, like a hermit in their basement, always trying to figure out this online stuff, or you're going to be a success. And if you like this kind of a video, if it encouraged you, motivated you, educated you, make sure you subscribe down below. Hit the bell, the notification thing down there. And if you guys want to learn more about building out your current businesses or starting a business online by list building, learning to attract customers and clients to you rather than chasing them down without spamming, without having any advertising budget, and you want to learn how I was able to build in the last 12 months a contact list of 20,000 people that like, know, and trust me without spending any ads, all right, if you want to learn that, I have a mentoring training course that will be linked down below. It's the very first link, so you can check it out in the description there. It is a paid training course. Check it out. But other than that, guys, I appreciate you, and I'll see you guys all on the beaches of the world. Take care. And we're still here. Great. How do we do this? Maybe gotta eat you guys again. No, it didn't work. Okay, that's just awkward. We're awkward. Okay. Exit off the video. This is weird.
We all wanna believe in something. Cause if we believe in nothing, then what do we have? We all wanna be loved. I wanna love somebody. Cause if we ain't got